Hey everybody, welcome to Between the Lines with Chris Curran. I'm your host, and today we speak to Brockton High School and Stonehill College alum and professional baseball player for your Brockton Rocks of the Frontier League, number 16, Trey Ciulla-Hall. What's up, big dog?
How you doing, man? I appreciate you having me, bro. I appreciate you
Dude,
having me.
it's great to finally get to talk to you. As we were just talking about too, I wanted to talk to you, but you're towards the end of your season, so I'm really not trying to bother you, nothing like that. But I'm a big fan, and I enjoy you. You're such a good dude, man. So definitely someone I wanted to have on here and talk to.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate it so much, man. It's a blessing. So I appreciate you having me.
Yeah. So what's it like? What's it like? Being in the off season right now?
It's good. Like I just told you, as much as I love this game and I love playing ball every day, it's really good to be able to be with my family and relax and decompress and get your mental right. I think that's the biggest thing is getting my mental right from a long season. It's more of that than the physical side. Like I can go play 9 innings right now, but
Yeah.
it's been real good, kind of being able to relax and kind of get ready for the next few months and get ready for the next season. So
Yeah, 100%. It's a grind over that summer, man. I know it's fun. I know it's the your dream job type of thing, but man, day after day,
just
you
gotta
cannot.
attack, bro. You gotta attack every day, man. It's tough. I know it's tough.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your baseball journey.
Yeah, man. I mean, this game is something I've been playing since as far as I can remember. I think like 4 or 5 years old, I started playing t-ball. So my grandfather, rest his soul, he was like my best friend. Um, he's who really introduced me to the game. My dad was a football player. So I can remember, being at the house, I could have my little toy bat, and he'd be throwing the balls at me, and I'd be hitting them. That's where I learned how to hit. But yeah, at 4 or 5 years old, they got me into like t-ball. And my dad's funny. My dad loves telling the story. He could probably tell it better than I can. But I guess my first day at T-ball, I walked in, and obviously no one really knew me. He was in Quincy. My grandfather was from Quincy, and we lived up there for a little bit. So I walk in and balls on the tee. Obviously, it's T-ball, and I'm looking at this guy that he had 10 heads. I'm like, what the? I don't know how to hit off a tee. I never had a tee in my life. And I guess my dad's sitting in the with the parents. He's like, just throw it to him. Just throw it to him. And coach is like, what the heck, man? So he backs up. Coach throws it to me. I hit it. And I run to second base, so I guess that was my first double. But my dad loves telling that one right there.
Oh man, that is awesome. Started off hot.
It started off hot, man. It was double. It was downhill
Swinging.
from there. It was downhill from there.
Dude, it's tough to top that, man. It's
You
tough
feel
to
me?
top that. Dude,
And
it
that's when
is, man.
baseball was just baseball. You wasn't
Yeah.
thinking about nothing. It wasn't a job. It was just, that's when it was fun. And those are the days I remember, like that and Little League playing in Brockton West. Those are the days that I'll always remember. Being a professional baseball player is cool. College was cool, but you have those days where you feel like, damn, this is a job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But those days, I was a little kid, just enjoying it. And that's how I try to play the game now, like a little kid.
It's cool to reminisce some of those things too. Some of the little league moments for me were some of the biggest ones. Like I remember the first time I hit a home run foul.
Yeah, you feel
Didn't
me?
even count. Didn't even count. I was
No,
11. I was 11 at North Junior High, and that's where our little league games was. And I played for Piesco Sporting Goods, Phil Bello, one of the best coaches I've ever had. And it was like the last game of the season. I got an inside pitch and I hit it. I pulled it up onto the hill. And I kind of got the look from some of my teammates and some of the fans. And that's kind of how I knew, oh, I might have a little bit of pop. That's a little
yeah,
different.
right.
And then my 12-year-old year, I hit like 12, 13 home runs out of
Yes,
nowhere.
sir. That's
But
sick,
it
man.
wasn't as good as leading off my life with a double, but
Right now, no, that's a little cooler though. All your boys probably like, dang, man, you just put it on the hill. And you said didn't even count, and that's one of your best
didn't
memories.
even.
That's super cool.
Yeah, I remember that, man. And were there certain baseball moments for you that like really stuck with transitioning from one level to the next level?
Yeah, for sure. I think so. My last year on the Little Diamond, I play with my little brother. So my little brother is
Oh
19 years
man.
old, and I never got to play with him. There's like a fall ball thing that they did in Brockton, and they had like 9-year-olds be able to play with like the 12-year-olds and all that. So I played with my little brother,
Yeah.
and it was the coolest thing, like kind of watching him, like just get his feet under him on like the little field, and I'm getting ready to transition to the bigger field. And I think we were at practice one day, and I threw a ball at him, hit him in his face. And I was like, I need to get off this little field. It's about time for me to play in the big field. So like, just stuff like that. But it's funny, I didn't hit a bunch of homers in Little League. That's what I tell everyone all the time. I think that's what made me such a better player now and like in college and professional ball is like my dad always taught me. That's what he was a football player. So he was physical, but he was like, I don't want to see you hitting the ball up in the sky. I don't know how he knew that because that's the right thing to say. He was like, I want you hitting on the line, hitting it hard. Um, and that was some of the best advice I've ever got. And he doesn't know. He's not a baseball guy, you know. So
He
um
was just using
yeah.
athletic knowledge of like, all
You
right,
know,
good feel for the
right.
game right there. You know what I mean? Good feel for the
Yes,
game.
sir. He's like, T, they'll start taking off. You hit them on the line, they'll start taking off when you get bigger. And I was like, well, he wasn't wrong. So I'm happy I wasn't one of those guys in those skyrockets that were going 200 feet.
Oh
Because
yeah,
like it don't translate, and you kind of seen it. And I was very
yeah.
fortunate to have him tell me that. And yeah,
What was it like for you transitioning into high school too? Because like you are known, were you like, I mean, within the baseball community, I feel like you were
right.
known as a person going into high school, right? Because like even I knew of you, and I'm older, but
Yes, sir.
you hear of the drops, right? You hear of, yo, this kid's good. You hear of that even 10, 15 years later type of thing when
Right.
you're in that baseball community. Did How did your baseball, like high school baseball career start? How did it transform into what it is today?
Right. It's funny you say that. So the first time I've ever heard of Chris Curran, the first time anyone ever dropped your name on me, I was playing middle school baseball. Kristen Samaras, she was my coach. She was a teacher of mine. She was my coach in middle school, and I loved her to death. I still talk to her, and she's awesome. But
She's an amazing person.
she's a beast, amazing person,
Yeah.
just a freak athlete. She's a beast. I love her to death.
Mm-hmm.
But she was my baseball coach. So we're sitting there. We had like a meeting going on, and she's asking all of us, "You guys want to? You guys gonna try for the high school team? You guys gonna try out? Blah blah blah." And me being the little confident kid I was, I looked at her, I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna play varsity as a freshman. I'm gonna play varsity." And she looked at me and kind of smiled and kind of laughed at me in a way. And as much as I love her, this stayed with me for my whole life. She's like, "Man, I love like that you think that, but no one's ever played varsity or started the varsity as a freshman since Chris Curran." I was like, "The heck is this guy?" I mean, like,
Yep.
I can do that too. And I kind of looked at her, I was like, "All right, that's cool. I'm gonna do that." And she's like, "All right, we'll see." And I was fortunate enough to go on and start as a freshman and play 4 years at Brockton High as on varsity, and it was really cool. Like I always have that in the back of my mind, and um, it's a super cool story. And that's like I said, the first time I ever heard your name and kind of found out who you were, and in me
Yeah.
being who I am, I go and look it up. I'm like, yeah, he was the truth. He
Yeah.
really was the truth. So, that's a cool story that I have. But
That's awesome.
going into yeah, man, going to Brockton High was awesome though. Like I didn't really obviously, like you said, people you have that drop of like, oh, this kid's coming in and he's gonna be good, whatever. I didn't really ever let that get to my head. My dad was pretty good at kind of keeping me away from that stuff, so never let me get this big airhead. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was super fun. I miss high school. I would go back tomorrow. So,
Oh man, I know. I remember those nerve-wracking days of going to tryouts too, because when you're good too, there's also a certain expectation, right?
right,
So that happens, and if you're good enough and you got your head on your shoulders, you're not really letting that impact you. But for me, like I was a freshman, but my older brother was a junior, so I was driving into tryouts with them, and really didn't have a choice. Like, no, you're just trying out for varsity
right,
type of thing.
yeah,
So, and for
makes
me,
sense.
like baseball was baseball. I knew I was pretty good at it. I knew that it's something I always wanted to do, but um, for me, I was still having so much fun,
Right,
and I didn't really think about it in that sense. And then it got kind of weird for me when I saw seniors, like good seniors getting cut, and I was the freshman that made it. Because just like you said, and like Kristen said, there's not a lot of freshmen who have done it.
right,
Especially within our range of time type of thing. So I think there might be 5 or 6 in the history that have ever played. So I think I was the fourth.
right.
So if you were the next one, you were the fifth freshman to ever start at the varsity level.
I didn't
It's
know those numbers. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's a
Yeah, that's
rare thing. And the person before me was Adam Tempesta, and he was a year older than me, but he was legit. Um,
right.
it was
Stud.
yeah, it was just well known. His brother was drafted by the Phillies. He went to UMass Amherst. It made sense
Right.
to
No,
to
for sure.
to kind of see it, to follow that. So when I heard your name too early on, it was one of the first times I had heard a baseball name from Brockton. So I was
Yeah,
excited.
yes, sir.
I was like, yeah, I hope
Yeah,
so.
right. Yeah, man,
Someone's
it's
got to
real
carry
cool.
the torch. Someone's got to
Yes,
carry
sir.
that torch.
Yes, sir. And I get that feeling too, because even when I go back now and you see some of these young kids and you're just rooting for them, like the young freshman coming in, you hear his name, like you're
Hmm.
like, dang, I want him to be really good, and it's
Yeah,
tough right now with I think Brockton baseball, it's not a lot of kids want to play. It's super frustrating to me.
yeah,
Like going back and seeing it, that's where I'm from, and I love it. Like all these kids going to private schools and going to prep schools because Brockton baseball isn't good and no one wants to play there. It's
I know.
frustrating, and I hope it's something that it gets back to being, competitive and a good program.
Yeah, seriously. What was your senior year like?
Nuts, man. Nuts, man. That's
Yeah.
when COVID first hit.
Oh,
Um,
man.
yeah, I lost. I didn't even play. So I didn't play at all my senior year. I think we were
Oh, man.
like a week out before tryouts for baseball, and they're like, "All right, we're not going to be in school for a week. We got this COVID thing going on." And I was like, "All right, cool. I get a week off, and I get to go try out." And then a week turned to two turned to three, and then it was the whole year. And it was tough. I was fortunate enough to already know where I was going next year and where I was going to be playing ball and where I was going to go to school and get a degree. But it stunk, man. I felt for some of the kids that were seniors that weren't committed and wanted to play college ball. It
Yeah,
was the worst. It was super tough and definitely one of the bigger challenges that I've faced in my life. But I kind of say it all the time. That's what makes life, is those challenges, and it kind of shows you who you are, is how you deal with adversity and how you deal with them challenges. And um, like I
hmm,
said, if I could do it all over again, I would do it the same exact way because it's made who I am as a person and as a player, and most importantly as a man. So it
yeah,
was definitely tough, but I would do it all over again if I had to.
man. I remember that time thinking about it because, yeah, and there was a couple other players that I know from surrounding towns that had played for the Razorbacks that you start to see that and you're like, oh no.
Right,
You couldn't imagine putting yourself in their shoes because you guys were the first ones to ever go through something like that.
right.
And
Yeah.
as you mentioned too, like you you had things kind of worked out. You took care of your grades, you took care of your baseball, you play on and off the field type of thing, where some people, their senior year of high school was the last time they were going to play.
And it was important for them, man. And I said all the time, like all my boys that I see, and they're doing fine now, but I
Hmm.
feel for them even more than like I'm never someone that's don't feel bad for myself. But
Yeah.
when I see guys like that, I'm like, dang, bro, we got it messed some of us up, man, and it stunk
Yeah.
because there were some guys that probably should have played college ball, should have got an opportunity to go JUCO, but didn't because they didn't get a senior year, and
Yeah.
it was tough.
So from high school, you were looking to get into Stonehill, right? Or that, I mean, that's obviously where you were going at that
Right.
point in
So
time.
yeah, it kinda landed on my lap in perfect time. I always wanted to go to school far, far away. You're a freshman, you're a sophomore, you're like, "I'm gonna go to Ole Miss, I'm gonna go to Vandy, Imma go down south," right? Um, and then you kinda get the realization that that's not gonna happen. But, all the schools I was looking at, UMaine, URI, Quinnipiac, like, all out of state, and I was ready to go get up and do it, and I was really set on going to Quinnipiac. That's where I wanted to go, out in
Yeah.
Connecticut. Um but just, the money wasn't right, the scholarship wasn't right, and I was trying to figure it all out. So then, and this is all during football season, so I played football as well. So I was missing practices to go to all these visits and whatever it was, and I ended up committing to Franklin Pierce first at my junior year. I was
Oh,
supposed to go to Pierce,
wow.
yeah, and I committed. I went on my visit, committed, and I go home. I talked to my parents a little bit more about it, and it wasn't the right fit. So I decommitted before my junior year even started baseball, and I was like, "What do I do now?" Like, I'm in a tough situation here, and everyone that I said no to are now probably out. They got their roster full. And Coach Bone sent me an email, found out I decommitted, and we had a really good relationship before. He's a Brockton guy.
Yeah.
He's like a second dad. I say it all the time. He's Shout out to him. He's a really good dude, and shout out to everyone over there at Stonehill. But his brother was the basketball coach at Brockton High. So we already had that connection, and he kind of reached out and said, come on a visit. I want to talk to you." And it was the right fit, the perfect fit for me, and I love it over there, man. Stonehill is like that's my second home, and I'm so fortunate and blessed the way it worked out for me, So
That's awesome, man. Because I was looking at Stonehill too. I was considering that. I mean, there were some some other schools, but at the time my mother worked there. Nick Lee was a baseball coach there that
The man.
he was drafted by the Red Sox, I believe. Bowen's
Yeah.
amazing. We know their family.
Right.
Um, but I mean, there were a couple other places that I was definitely interested because I wanted to go. I wanted to play in Miami, and
Right.
that
Of
was my
course.
goal. That's the one thing I wanted to do, and luckily I had the ability to sign with Barry University, but then my grades didn't work out at the end of the year, so I had to go to Miami-Dade Community College, which worked out, but I kept my word. It was between schools like or Texas or LSU, and I ended up signing back with Barry University going into my junior year, but
Yes, sir.
I knew I was gonna play professionally as well, but I owed the coach
Right.
for everything he did, so I kept my word to him.
Yeah, man, that's sick. That's so cool, and that experience is dope, man. Being able to go play out in Miami, that that's like I said, that's where everyone wants to go. Down south, somewhere like
Yeah,
Texas, somewhere like Miami, bro. It's we got
yeah,
to play at U Miami my senior year. It was the sickest thing ever. We played against
yeah.
them. Should have beat them boys. We lost by a run. It was ridiculous, but
Mm.
bro, it was so sick. Like if I could play there every day, man, it would have been
Yeah.
fire. It would have been sick, man. You know, no indoor facilities, no oh, it's snowing out, you can't use the field, like
I know. Yeah. It's
it's
different
sick.
every day.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, when I was there, like our last practice of the year was like December 16th and I flew home on December 17th.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
type of thing.
crazy,
And
bro.
I came
That's
home and it was
crazy.
like 4 degrees with snow on the ground. And 2 weeks later, I'm flying back there on like January 6th or whatever, getting ready to start up preseason stuff.
Yeah, boy, I would have been on the first flight back out there. Christmas ended, mom, bye, mom. I see y'all. I see y'all when I see y'all,
Yeah, save the money on the presents, put it towards an early plane ticket.
Yeah, right, right.
But after Stonehill, you were gonna go to University of Maryland?
Yes,
Is that
sir.
right?
Yeah, so my freshman year at Stonehill was still COVID. COVID was still going on, so I think we played 30 games, and it was all within conference. So I think the 30 games, 11 of them were against Bentley, 7 were against Assumption. We didn't travel nowhere. It was just COVID was still going on. We played with like the Gators on, with masks on.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and, and we were Division two at the time in the NE10. And then my sophomore year moved up to Division one in the NEC. So everyone was telling me, like all the people in the offices, Coach Bowen, they're like, "You're gonna get that freshman year back, and don't really worry about it. Don't worry about it." So my senior year ended, and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna enter the portal. Like you guys got my paperwork going through and all that." And they're like, "Yeah, like enter the portal. You're allowed to." The NCAA allowed me to enter the portal. So this is when like that high school in you, that high school boy, like you want to go look at all these schools, you want to go play overseas. It comes back out of you. You're like, dude, I'm in the
Mm-hmm.
portal. Like now you got the NIL, you got everything. So you got phone calls with LSU at 2 o'clock today. You got Oregon calling. You're going on a visit to University of Kansas. Man, I felt
Oh
like I
man.
was a big leaguer. Like I was like, dude, I'm about to. You feel me?
That's so
Uh,
cool, man.
it was sick, and I went to University of Maryland. Shout out to them, man, Coach Swope. He is the man. I think one of the best hitting coaches in the country, and one of the best guys there is. He stood by me through it all. Went on my visit, fell in love, and you know, committed there, went out there, still waiting on the paperwork and everything to go through from the NCAA. Like, went on a phone call from Charlie Baker. Like, I'm like, dude, just let me just okay my year so I can go play. And then we're, getting ready to get on a plane and go play in Wake Forest or Texas, wherever we were going. And they're like, yeah, you just got denied. You can't play, bro. Like, you got to go home. You got to go figure it out. You can either go get a lawyer and fight it some more for next year, or you're kind of on your own. So it's just, you lose out on the NIL opportunities, a full ride to, get my master's, get my second degree, and you kind of just lose it all. And I think we talked about COVID being a big challenge for me. I think that was the biggest challenge of my career and of my life. I was in a tough spot, but um, just trying almost getting the game stripped from you and just the opportunity stripped away from you. And, you were a little depressed in a way. You're kind of like on this high horse and you're really looking forward to doing something, and then you just get taken away from you. You just don't know kind of what to do.
Especially at that
But
point in time, because that would have been the highest level of baseball that you would have played at that point,
yeah,
and you didn't play it because it wasn't due to your talent.
right. I mean,
I think
yeah.
that's a different kind of pill to swallow if you're like, all right, I'm not good enough to play here, but when you
Oh,
know that
yeah.
you could play there, you're like, oh, come on.
Yeah, and then, like, if I had got that year back, I would've got my draft eligibility back, so, like, it was everyone asked me, "Was it a baseball decision to go to Maryland, or was it a, like, more school, like, get your degree?" It was 100% a baseball decision, and I don't
Yeah.
have any I'm not embarrassed to say it neither, because like, I got my piece of paper from Stonehill,
Hmm.
but this one was, like, it's a baseball decision. If I get this year back, I get my draft eligibility back for this next season. Like, people are talking about Imma probably go if I play well. If I do what I did last year at Stonehill, I'll probably go. So, like, the reality that, damn, now I can't get drafted. Now I need to figure out if an affiliate wants to pick me up. And if not, if I'm gonna go play indie ball. It's like, it was super tough. But it led me to where I am here today, like playing with the Rocks and being able to play professional baseball. So I guess it was a blessing in disguise. I just tried to make best out of the situation.
Yeah, I mean, because there's a lot of people who played at Wake Forest and Maryland and Maine, all these schools that have never played professional baseball.
Right.
I know
Yeah.
I know a bunch of people that have never played professional baseball.
Yes, sir.
That went to all them top schools, you know what I mean? But you were just the right guy. It didn't matter. It's easy to say now, sitting on this side, of the microphone, but didn't it
Right.
really? It may not have mattered where you went for you to play professionally. Maybe the levels and everything could have changed, but
Yeah.
you were good enough to play at those schools, which means people are going to keep their eye on you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, and that's how everything about it, and I appreciate that. It's one of those things. My goal is still the same: is to get to affiliate ball and get my contract purchased and play well and be better than I was the season before. So, is it a different route to that? Yeah,
Hmm.
but in my head, it don't matter. Like, I'm a dude, and I think I'm gonna go and do it. So
Yeah,
it's
no, you a
kind of just a
baller.
different
You a
different route.
baller. Yeah, you're a baller. You work hard. You got the right head, man. You come from a good family. There's so much in your corner right now that through time and hard work, things work. You know what I mean? Or at least
Yes,
you
sir.
position yourself to make them work. That's
Yes,
one of the
sir.
most important things, man. You watch a lot of good talent, um, kind of blow it off of the field, and that's
Yeah.
tough to see, man. It's tough to see because you only got so many chances.
You feel me? That's the worst to see. Like, even now, like being older and seeing all these, it's more honestly like when I go back to Brighton and see all these kids, like a bunch of great football players, great athletes. I'm like, he's gonna be something special. And he doesn't know what he got, and you see him blow it because they can't take care of their grades or they can't stay out of trouble.
Hmm.
It's frustrating, man. That's it's tough to see, and you're
Yeah,
rooting for those guys. So
for an opportunity to be gone, because of a couple years of fun
right.
type of thing. It's like, a question I have for you is, what was it a big decision between baseball and football for you, or were there any other sports that were like, I got to do this to do that?
Right. Honestly, it was bigger than people think or that people know. I love football. My dad, obviously, like I told you, he played at the University of Maine and big football guy, but he never forced that on me. He was like, I love watching you play baseball, and he knows kind of the physicality of football and all that. And so he never forced it on me. But for me, it's like when I went back out and played in high school and loved it and played well, I was like, dude, I might want to do this instead of play baseball. And then you start seeing like guys commit earlier with football and get all these full bags and these full rides. You're like, maybe I can do that. So it was a pretty big decision. And it's still a game I love, but I'm happy I made the decision to play baseball. And yeah, it
Hmm.
was tough. It was definitely a tough decision, man. And people don't really know that like about me, unless they ask, because everyone thought it was just baseball all the way, baseball all the way. But it was a tough one for sure.
That's why I had to ask too, because I had to make the decision at some point. Because
Right,
I played football for Brockton High. I played freshman, and then I played JV/varsity. The only time I played varsity was punt return, kick return. I wasn't,
right.
I was like 130 pounds. I wasn't tackling anybody.
Fast as all, but you was
Yeah,
fast as all hell
yeah.
though,
They're like,
man.
just don't let anybody touch you, type of thing. So I just get it
Right.
and run. I'd be on the
Yes,
field
sir.
for 5, 6, 7 seconds at a time. But
Yeah, hey,
I
that's
remember,
all I needed.
yeah, we won in 2005. We beat Everett in the Super Bowl, and then in 2006, that was my senior year. They ended up going 13-0, and they beat Severian in the Super Bowl. But I didn't play that year because I was flying around and looking for these schools.
Right.
Um, now you were going on your visits while playing, right?
Yeah,
How did
so
that differ for you?
so it was a little bit kind of reverse. So my freshman sophomore year, I didn't play. I was like, I'm just gonna play baseball. I played some basketball too. Um,
Mhm.
and that was due to like I had a couple concussions coming into high school, and I was like, you know what, forget this football stuff. Like my mom was freaking out. You know how moms get, but
Mhm.
um, yeah, I was like, so my freshman sophomore year, I didn't play, and then you had Colombo kind of calling you back up, like, "Hey, come on, play junior senior year, come play." And I was like, you know what? I looked at my dad, and the smile on his face, I still see it right now. He was like, go ahead and do it." So I went out and played, and it was like a tougher time to start, try to because you're trying to earn a spot on the varsity rotation on the varsity team as a junior, but you're also like, dude, I need to go figure out where I'm going to school next year, and I need to make sure I'm working out and being the best I can be on the baseball field. So it was super tough and having to miss practices during that time. I was fortunate though, because our offensive coordinator, Chris Brennan, was also the head varsity baseball coach, and
Mhm.
we had a super good connection. So in all of my like visits and everything was kind of going through him or any workout I had to go do. So I was like, no, hey, coach, I gotta go handle business. He was like, hey, go do it. Cause you know where your head's at, you know what you want to do. Um, and it's funny, any football guy would come to the school to talk to you. He would kind of call you. He's like, you want to come talk to him or not? And I'd be like, you know what, I'll do it. Get me out of class. Get me out of fourth period. I'll come talk to him. But um, it was
uh,
definitely tough though.
that's awesome. I used to love that, man. They used to stop me. I think it was like my junior and senior year. I'd get pulled out of class because they'd recruit me for track.
Yeah,
And my junior year, it was tough to turn people down, but my senior year, I was kind of like, I had my
your
own
mind
little
was made up.
baseball name swag going on. So they would pull me out like, you should really think about running track. I'm like, there's no ball. You guys are just running.
Yeah,
I was like, so it's just warm ups the entire time. You're just running the whole time.
yeah,
I was like,
running and
yeah,
stretching. I'm good on that
yeah. And I was like, I probably could have did it and excelled in it, but for me, it just
for
didn't have a
sure.
ball.
Yeah,
It
no,
didn't.
I feel that. I
It
feel
didn't make
that.
any
That's
sense.
why I never. I wasn't the fastest anyway, but I would have never touched no track. You tell me I got to run all day? Nah, I'm good, man.
That's
I'm
it.
good.
You run as a warm up to then run. I'm like,
There's
nah.
no objective. The objective is
Yeah.
finishing the race.
I'm like, it
Like, at
sounds like
least.
punishment.
Yeah, right. I'm not with all that. That's funny though. That's funny, man.
uh, but all right, so I gotta ask this because this is definitely interesting. What was your? How did the Brockton Rocks come about? Was there like, what was the time lapse between that decision and college? How did that all work out?
It was a little. That was also a little like confusing as well. So I was at Maryland and I talked to Doc Edmondson before I went out there. And he was like, "Yeah, I would love to have you like bring you to spring training, but you don't know what you're doing yet." And this is before I even got out to Maryland. I was like, I'll keep you in the loop. Like I'm supposed to be going out there. I don't know what the ruling is going to be, but I'm anticipating playing this year at Maryland. So I went out there. Everything happened. They told me I couldn't play, and the first person I called on that phone was Doc, and he's the man too. He's a really good dude, man. I grew so close to him this year. Um, but I called him. He was like, "Yeah, I got a contract for you. Come to spring training, man. Come earn a spot." And it was just a blessing to have that kind of right there for me as well. Like I don't know what it was, what was in the air going on, but everything kind of it was a blessing. It was right there for me, and I was really fortunate to be able to go do that. But then there was Maryland on the other hand, who was like, "We want you to fight it to come back next year and get a lawyer, blah blah blah." And that was another tough decision that I had to sit down and so many long talks with my parents about it. Like, do I go become a professional now, or do I go and try to fight this some more and try to get this year back? And Maryland obviously wanted me to try to fight it, but there was so much uncertainty with that. Because then if they deny me a second time, now I haven't played baseball in 2 years or a year and a half.
Hmm.
And now it's like, who's going to want to take a chance on a kid that hasn't played ball in a year and a half? They're just taking my word that I've been working out. I haven't probably seen live pitching in a long time. So that's where I was like, dude, I need to just go and know where I have a spot and know that I can play this season. And that's why I chose to sign and play professional ball.
That's smart, man, because yeah, if you did miss, I mean, even in that short term, especially at that point in time, if that was going to be, say, the highest level of baseball that you were playing, God, I had a conversation with my buddy about this not too long ago. Like, they're developing their guys over 3 years to be that fourth year guy. Now, and that's if they're
Right.
not drafted out of their junior year and they're 21 years old, the criteria and everything. But
Yeah.
if you're that senior coming back, you're the senior just hopping on in after maybe not having, missing out on a year as well.
Right.
That would be extremely tough in that sense too. I think I would have chose the same exact thing
Yeah,
when
man,
you
and
take
super
a
tough.
look at it.
Dude, it don't matter how good you think you are, how good you are physically. Baseball is something like I say, it's like a shower. If you don't do it, you're gonna stink. And
Yeah.
I could have been in the cages and working out every single day, but it's nothing like playing and seeing live at bats and taking the live rep in the infield. And I even had to deal with that when I went to go play pro ball. I reported spring training, and I feel like I was in the best shape of my life, but you kind of get that you see the ball at the hand for the first time and you're like, oh shoot, I forgot what this looks like. So you definitely had to bump some rust off, and I couldn't even
Yep.
imagine if it was any longer than what it was. So
Yeah, that's always one of the toughest parts. I had that tough transition down to college when I went, because you would come up here and it's 5 degrees out, 10 degrees out. So you're going at least 2 to 3 weeks without even seeing a ball out of the hand. And then you're going down there and you're seeing 95. So for
yeah,
you,
like
you're going in there and you're like, I'm looking for a job.
right,
I'm trying
yeah,
to get a job, man.
right.
That's impressive,
It's no, yeah, it was crazy. And like I said, fortunately it worked out, but it was super tough, and you kind of had to grind. You had to grind any way possible. You want to talk
Yeah.
about getting a two-strike approach? You got one right there. Even if you didn't have one before, you're like, dang, I can't strike out here. I'm gonna get a damn two-strike approach. I'm gonna choke up, and I'm gonna go get some money, and that's just what it was.
You're waking up, 2-strike approach. You're going to
Yeah,
bed,
right.
2-strike approach.
Yes, sir.
There's
Yes,
no
sir.
breaks. No
No,
breaks, man.
bro. No.
No breaks. I was talking to Butter Brown about this, and because he played for like the Pecos League and he played independent league too, so he knows what it's
Yeah,
like. Where now every day you have to work hard and make sure your job is still there, because you just never know. It's
never, man.
crazy they're not you're not getting paid a million like people on TV. Um, but someone could also buy out your contract tomorrow.
Right.
So you're
And
always ready.
bro, and it's you always trying to be ready, and it's like trying to keep that mentality. Like you go in the first 2 weeks and you're like, yeah, I'm here to get signed. Like I'm here to play well
Hmm.
and get out and go get my contract purchased. And then 3, 4 weeks down the line, you have a couple bad games, and you're like, now I'm here to make sure I don't get released. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not playing anymore to get signed. I'm playing to not have a job, and that was the toughest thing for me. And I think that's something that next year I'm gonna be have drilled into my head is I'm here to get my contract purchased. I can't start thinking I'm a lose my job, because once you start thinking like that, then you start pressing, and I think
Yeah.
that pressure does make diamonds, and that's where diamonds come out. And you see who the cream of the crop is, and that's how you kind of have to look at it. But dude, it's tough, man. You're like, I don't know
Dude,
if I'm walking in here and I'm gonna be released right now because I just stunk for 2 games, but it's
it
tough.
100%, man. It's so true. It really is. The amount of people that I've seen come in indie ball that are like, yo, I'm out of here in 2 weeks, bro. I'm like,
Bro,
yo, you better strap on your cleats. We've all said that, man.
yeah,
You don't
everyone
think
has,
everybody?
man.
Yo, it's funny because you would see like someone would get released and then you see the new guy come in and he got his affiliate bag on. He's on the Angels, and you
Yeah,
know what he's
yeah,
thinking, like, I'm here by mistake. I'm like,
right.
yeah, we're all here by mistake, man.
That's right. That's the story of my
we're
life,
all
bro.
yeah, we're all here. But once I realized, see, I was two things. I'm very jealous of you because I told myself if and when I was going to be done playing with the Nationals, I wanted to play for the Brockton Rocks, bro. Their
Yes, sir.
hometown, bro. There's, what to say. There's
Yeah.
no love like hometown love.
You
So,
feel what I'm saying?
so in 2012, when I asked for my release, because I wasn't playing, I knew my time was kind of running up with that. Um,
Right.
so I asked for my release, but in 2011, the Brockton Rocks stopped being professional.
That's when
And
they
then
went to
they
summer
came,
the summer, man.
yeah,
They
so
went
I was like, dang. So Brian Daubach actually got me a job with the New Jersey Jackals.
The Jackals,
So
the
yeah,
Jackals.
he was the Brian Daubach was my coach with the Hagerstown Suns, which was low A when I was like on my way out. I was just one of the phantom guys. They would move me from low A, high A depending on injuries and stuff like that, but
Right.
it was never anything solid, and you get 5, 6 years in, you're like, I've seen this.
Yeah,
The year
they don't.
before, yeah, the year before I was in AAA, I got staph infection a week before
Yeah.
we broke camp. So
Oh my
I
lord,
didn't break
man.
with double A or triple A. I was with triple A all spring training. I did some big league games against like Prince when we played the Tigers. I played against Miggy and um, Prince Fielder and like those guys.
Dang, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, bro.
so I'm very susceptible to staph infection. I've had it 14 times. you know?
Oh,
And
God bless you, bro. That's
yeah,
crazy.
so that happened. I stayed there and just I lost it.
It's just it's
Like I,
unlucky, man.
yeah,
That's just
I was in triple
unlucky
A when
right there.
Harper was in double A. That was my timeline. You know what I mean?
That's
So
crazy.
he jumps.
That's
When he
crazy. He jumped
jumps,
like this.
gone. See you later. Ain't nobody moving
Yeah,
up.
yeah, right.
Shut it down.
Man, that's crazy, bro.
It
That's
happened.
nuts, right?
But I had a lot of good coaches and a lot of good people on my side. Like when I
Which is
asked
important.
dude, Doug Harris was he was the head of player development. I called him and asked for my release. He's like, give it 24 hours. If you still feel the same way, we'll give you your release. And it was
Right.
very peaceful because
Yeah.
I made my peace with it. And a lot of people would ask me, yeah, but aren't you afraid to walk away? And I knew a lot of the questions were based on the title and the emblem I wore on my shirt. And
Mhm.
for me, it wasn't about that anymore.
Yeah.
It was really about where was I going to be happy? Because I had never faced, as man, like with baseball and stuff, you get them highs and those lows.
Mhm. Mhm.
I had never faced tougher times than when I had struggled in baseball.
Right. It's the worst thing ever. And we were talking about it earlier, like,
Hmm.
baseball is what brings me happiness, and I think you said it, when those dreams start to turn to nightmares, it's tough, and you don't really see it in any other sport because those lows can be super low, even if the highs are super high, and it's super tough, man.
Dude, and you'll still get the messages on Instagram, hey, whoa, and you're like, dude, man, I'm hitting
Dude,
like 100 right now, bro.
bro, hey,
Yeah.
that right there is real, right? Like, hey, dude, you're doing your thing, man. I'm proud of you. Dude, I just went 0 for 5 last night, man. Don't talk to me. Don't say nothing to me.
Oh
That's
man,
funny.
it's tough, man. It is. That's a tough
It's
thing to
crazy.
do. It is. My wife had to help me out a lot with that because I've been with Kayla since 2008. So
Oh, dang. So she's been through it.
she was,
Yeah.
so we were dating before I signed any contract type of
Wow.
thing.
So
So
she's been through it with you. She
she,
knows.
dude, we've been together for like 17 years type of thing.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So
God,
she has
that's.
seen it all. She saw me transition out of baseball, which is a different beast. You
I can't
know,
even imagine. I don't even want to start thinking about that
dude.
because I know it's probably the
Yeah,
worst. It's probably the worst, and
yeah,
you have a
man.
little life crisis. Like, what's my purpose now? And
You do, yeah, yeah. I've become a little bit more open about talking about that, like the
yeah,
depression part of it and stuff like that. But it really makes me think and appreciate the career I did have.
yes, sir.
For all the moments. You
Right.
know, that's the
That's
good
real.
part. That's exciting, man. It's exciting for you to get back into next season. What do you now? It's still your downtime.
Right.
Right. Are you giving yourself a certain amount of time to have off to do nothing? Because I always used to take about I think it was like the first month. Like I didn't lift weights the first
Yeah.
month of being home.
Right. It's funny. So every pro baller or ex pro baller I've talked to said the same thing. Like, take your time off, take like a couple weeks.
Hmm.
I'm crazy, bro. Like, I've been lifting ever since I've been gone. I've been lifting ever since we've been out of season. But I'm taking some time away from, holding the bat and throwing a baseball. I think that's more of the things I need time away from. But I think the biggest thing for me this offseason is getting my body ready to be good for 95 games and if I'm playing the outfield again now, I need to get faster. I need to, you know, change my body in that way. So that's one of the things that I'm really hitting hard this offseason. But I'm definitely gonna
Okay.
take a couple weeks away from the cages and taking BP. And there's already been some times where Callie, the new Stonehill coach, called me up. You want to come down? And I went. And I hit a little bit, but it's hard for me to stay away from it. Like this is all I
It
know and all
is.
I love to do. It's so tough.
Well, see,
But I'm
that's
trying.
that's the beauty of it too. Is like you got Stonehill College
Right there.
right there, man.
Yeah,
You
and they show
loved,
love,
yeah, you
and
are
they show
loved,
love, man.
man. In the off seasons, I wasn't going to Miami. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
hey,
Like I would,
you
I
can't,
would have
you
liked
can't.
to, but yeah, you
Yeah,
can't.
you can't.
You
Yeah,
know, it's not that easy. You
right.
know, you're working. Yeah, you're working out. There's just life stuff happening,
For real,
type of
and like
thing.
like you just said, I'm super fortunate to have Stonehill in my backyard, so it's hard to stay away from it, and like you said, you try to, and I think for me mentally, staying away from the bat right now, staying away from picking up a glove, because like I said, 96 games, you get in your head a lot in so many different ways. So I think right now I just need to decompress and get everything out of there and start back when I start back.
Did you find yourself changing any mechanics during any point in time of the year, or I asked that
Yeah.
because I got 100 stories of that. Like I was like, maybe this bat doesn't work. You
Yeah,
know?
right. Hey, we us baseball players, man, we're weirdos, bro. Like I'll be walking in
Yes.
a grocery store. I'll be just walking. I have like the refrigerators next to me, and I'll stop, sitting there loading, loading. Nah, my hand shouldn't be there. Got the old lady walking past, like, what the heck is this kid doing? But yeah, so like that's something I struggled with was that the mechanics and trying to figure out like, am I doing the right thing right now? I'm struggling. I'm struggling this past week. Is there something in my mechanics I'm doing wrong? But like I just said, Coach Sean Callahan, who's the new head coach at Stonehill, he was my hitting coach my senior year. And
Okay.
he's someone that I go to for everything. And he's had to talk me off a ledge a couple times. Like, dude, it's not mechanical. Like he'll show you a video and he'll be like, bro, like people that start changing their mechanics, that's when everything starts going down. You start changing where your hands start and where how you load. That's when everything starts to hit the
Yeah.
fan and you're screwed. So he was like, you need to think about his big thing is like, are you swinging at strikes? Which at the time, when I spoke to him, I wasn't. And he was like, so you can't look and analyze the swing if you're not swinging at strikes.
Yeah.
Because then you're gonna start trying to do something where it's like I thought about dropping my hands, making them relax, all that stuff. And he's like, bro, if you start trying to do that, you're not first of all, you're not gonna be you anymore. And you're probably still gonna strike out because you're still gonna be swinging at crappy pitches.
Yeah.
So it's one of
That
those things,
he's
like, I battle with that all the time because 'cause I'm so crazy about this game and being great. I'm like, "Dude, I need to change where I'm standing." And I'll see, like, Harper do something, and I'm like, "Wait, I can do that." And I need someone to be right there and tell me, "No, you can't, dude. You're not Bryce Harper."
you're like, yo, that's why he's there and I'm not doing
Yeah, right?
it.
Yeah, that there's it's been there all along, right? So
Dude, I know, man. I asked that question because I've changed so many things, man. I've changed bat sizes. I've gone from 243s to 271s.
right.
I've swung in pro ball, I've swung a 32 and a 34 and a half at different parts of the
Really?
year. Yeah, it was just like, maybe my hands are too fast. And
Yeah,
it's like,
right.
no, you're
Yeah,
just chasing the curveball that you're not supposed to hit. If it doesn't reach
right.
the plate, you're not supposed to be able to hit that. That's why you feel like your mechanics are off. You know,
Correct.
it's
Yeah,
it's a
that's
Vladdy
crazy. You said
Guerrero.
that.
It's a Vladdy Guerrero. There's a very few chosen people who can hit bad balls really good,
Right.
and that's why you can name someone like Vlad Guerrero type of thing.
Right. And I
But
think
yeah,
the other thing is like in college, like you can sometimes get away with hitting the bad pitch. So then you get to pro ball and you're like, why can't I do it anymore? And I
hmm
think that's for me where I'm like, same type of thing. Like I'm swinging a 33 and a half. Maybe I need to swing a four. I swing a four in college. Like, all right, now I got my boy can give me a 33 and a half, drop two. Maybe that's what I need. And it's all the things that go through your mind as a baseball player throughout the year, and you're trying to find the answer, and none of them are probably the answer. You know what I'm saying? And um,
hmm
it's just one of those things. Like now, like I told you, Callie's the man. He just tells me stay true to what you like and what's comfortable for you, and you keep doing that. And just you gotta. stop being crazy about mechanics and all that other nonsense. And
Yeah.
it's funny because you were talking about like the different models of bats. I swung a torpedo this year, one of the new
Ah.
little torpedo things, and I loved it to
Yeah.
death. And I broke two of them, so I started off the year really well, swinging it hot. I broke my two that I had, and I was in my house ripping through trying to find what bat I'm going to swing next. My mom looked at me like she was scared, boy. She was like, "What is he?" I was freaking out because I didn't know what to swing. Like all I knew was those two models, and I thought that's why I was good,
Dude,
but
and bats are
it's
so
not.
expensive now.
Oh my gosh,
So I
expensive.
so I haven't played in like so the last time I played, not professionally by any means, but the last time I played in a 28 and up Boston league was like 2019. I just started playing again this year. So it's
Yeah,
been like 5 entire years. I gave my baseball stuff to my brother. I'm like,
right.
just take it, bro. I ain't never gonna play. And of course, three months later, I'm like, yeah, I'll play.
I'm back. I'm back. Yeah,
And I got there game one. I was like, I don't even have a bat. He's like, just use this bat. I've used it all
yeah.
year. It's been pretty good. I just won MVP of the league.
That's sick. You ain't
I
breaking
was
once.
like,
I bet.
I was like,
That's sick.
sweet.
That's
But
fire. Off of one bat. That's sick.
one bat, one bat.
That's
Just
sick.
stay smooth. Just barrel it up.
You
And that's
feel
the
me?
thing. Don't chase bad pitches because it is tough to hit bad pitches. It's tough to hit good pitches.
Right. And you're probably sitting there in that league like, damn, why did I do that 10 years ago?
Where was
I mean,
it's
yeah, but it's
because my
like you can't
hands
think
weren't
about it
up
like that.
here.
Yeah, right. You feel what I'm saying? You feel me?
It's yeah, dude. That is
That's
so
the
tough, man.
tough, man.
Yeah,
We're tapped, man. Baseball players are tapped, bro. I say it all the
yeah.
time. We're crazy. Um, and we're creatures of habit. And once you feel like that habit's not there, you start to try to figure out what you're doing wrong, right down to what you ate in the morning and how much of my water I should
Dude.
drink pregame, you know? So
I had
it's
this
crazy.
dude, you're not lying. In 2009, I was on fire for like a portion of the season, and unfortunately, before every game, I was chugging an amp energy drink. We were playing the Braves, and like game one, 3 for 4, game two, 2 for 3 with 2 walks. And I'm
You're like,
like,
I gotta do
I'm
it.
like, I gotta chug this thing. What time's game time? Game time's at 7:11. Okay, I'm gonna chug this thing at like 6:50 and be good to go. I got out there like game three, and my heart was like,
Was
I
like
was
this,
like,
you better have a heart attack,
I was
bro.
like, yo, it might end here on the field, bro. I was like, you gotta pull back. I was like, I can't. It's working.
You feel me? We go through anything for a good game, for a little 2 knocks, 3 knocks. That's crazy. He said
yo,
I was chugging them.
Kayla points it out to me now, and because I'm not over baseball, but I can kind of look at it from a lens of not being so far invested.
Right.
She's like, that's not a superstition. That's OCD.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no. So I started talking to my brother about that, and he got the same stuff. I'm like, bro, I think we've been masking OCD with baseball and just saying, like, no, it's superstition. You always have to line your shoes up and make sure. I'm like,
Right,
oh
bro.
man.
That's right. I've had a couple people say it to me. So I studied psychology in school, and I would have teachers say to me, like, ask me about my superstitions, trying to tell me I would tell them what it is, like, dude, you got OCD. I'm like, miss, don't talk to me about this stuff. I'm gonna keep doing it. Don't tell me I got OCD. But you're right, we're masking it with ball. It's hilarious.
Yeah. And I didn't know until like I think I just found out like within the last year. For me, at least. Not everyone, but for me, and it's such how do you know? If it works,
Right.
you don't switch it.
Correct.
Especially in a game that's so like outcome based in many ways,
Right.
you know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm still discovering myself. I'm growing. Still
That's good
growing
though,
every
man.
year,
That's
man.
gots to, man. That's crazy.
Dude, if you start working on outfield stuff, you gotta call me. You gotta show me some things, you know?
You gonna
I'm
have to
about to,
show me some things,
I'm gonna
bro.
get
They got me
some.
out there in the corners. I went out there game one. They're like, "Hey, yeah, truly, you playing right." I was like, "Huh?" I'm out there freaking out, but it's honestly, I love it out there. It's cool, and you gonna have to show me some things. I'm gonna have to hit you up, and we gonna have to figure it out.
Where are you playing mainly, right?
Mostly right,
Left?
yeah. I played a little bit of left, but I played mostly right all day
Yo,
long, all year.
I played right for the first time this year. I usually play center field, but they already have a center fielder that's been there for
Okay.
years. So I'm
Yeah.
like, they put me out in right, and I'm like, yeah, I got to deal with these slices and stuff now.
Bro, it's funny. I say left field is way easier for
Yeah,
me as I don't know what it is. I can just see the ball better. So I was in right and my center fielder, Austin White, he's the man. Shout out to him. He's a really good defender. But he was like, "Hey, that ball's gonna run away from you." And I'm like, "The hell are you talking about? The ball goes up. I just go me two spots. It's different. It's a different animal out there, bro."
yeah,
And I'm so
yeah.
away from everybody, bro. Like I'm like sitting there trying to like figure out what to do with myself. Like in the infield, I can talk to my shortstop. I can talk to everyone. Out there, I'm in my own world, just trying to sing a song to keep myself busy. You know, it's crazy.
The only people talking to you are the people who are booing you.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, you feel me? You go out to Quebec and you got people cussing you out
Yo,
in
in
French. It's
French.
crazy,
Yo,
dude.
Quebec is funny. I heard one of the best insults I've ever heard. I was mind blown. So I went out there and obviously their colors are, they're blue, yellow, and white. And
Yep.
sometimes, they'll rock the gray unis, but we were black and red in New Jersey. And this French dude was like, "Ooh, look at you and your red cleats." I'm like, "Damn, bro." I was like,
What does that even mean? But that was just
yeah,
funny as hell.
usually people call me short. Like, who brought their
Right.
kid to work? I'm used to that.
Yeah,
This
and
guy's
you
like
can deal with
red
that.
cleats, matching gloves, fancy you. And I'm like, damn, bro, that kind of hurt.
That one hurt. Yeah, that one
I
hurt.
was
Right.
like, I was like, damn.
Hey, that's funny, man. They love their baseball out there in Quebec, man. It's sick. I think that's probably one of my favorite places that we played at this year. It was sick, man.
Did you guys go to Three Rivers too? Are they still in the
TR
league?
was cool. Yeah, TR
Yeah,
was cool, man. And TR, Quebec, and Ottawa. Those are the three Canadian teams. Ottawa was
yeah.
beautiful. Ottawa was a super
See,
nice
I
surface.
never got to go there, man. Never
Ottawa
got to
was
go
sick.
there. I heard.
Yeah, Ottawa was sick, man. And yeah, they love their baseball out there. I didn't know that the Canadians love their baseball. It was super cool.
Yeah, yeah, they
Yeah.
do. They do. In Quebec, dude, Quebec, the 2 years that I played independent league, they were always stacked. They beat us both years in the championship. In both years, I had to be taken out of the championship because of staph infection.
Really? So
Yeah,
that followed
so
you through indie ball too when you was playing
bro,
some
it
indie ball.
it never left me. So my
Oh my
last
gosh.
memory of professional baseball, I was in the hospital. And yeah, I was in the hospital. I had it right here on my wrist and it was just blown up. I had like 17 other spots on me. And the
Oh my
doctor,
god.
yeah, it was in New Jersey. And we did I think it was like the first 2 games at home, the next 2 games there, the last 3 at our place or whatever it was. And we
Yeah.
won game 1. And then in game 2 or game 3, the doctor was there. And in the 5th inning, I had to come out of the game and he drove me straight to the hospital.
Yeah,
And
because
then all
the
of a
staph infection ain't nothing to play with, man. That's yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, and it was like in my bloodstream. I could feel like my blood moving through the veins real slow. And
dang,
I was
man.
like, ah, and it was the second year in a row that I had to be taken out of like the championship series because of it. So unfortunately after that, I hung him up. I was like, I can't do this
Right.
anymore,
And as a
know?
competitor, you probably losing your mind. Like you never want to get taken out of no game, man. Especially the championship game. Like
Yeah, and it was tough too to end my career like that because it wasn't like I wasn't good enough to do it. It was
right,
like
right.
I made peace with it because I made the decision for
Yeah,
health reasons. Um, because I don't even know if at that time it was like staph infection 14 times. I had knee surgery, wrist surgery, stuff
dang.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a mental drain where you're like, bro, this is how it's
I'm
happening.
gonna go out. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna go
Yeah,
out.
this stuff's eating my flesh,
Yeah.
you know?
Right. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
So that was the end of my baseball career was
Yeah,
infections.
that's tough, bro. That's
Yeah.
tough. Yeah, man.
That's pretty cool though that you're gonna be working back at Stonehill, getting ready for the next year, man. That's
Yeah, it's super
exciting.
cool. It's super cool. And I got a bunch of young guys that I played with my senior year, so it's cool to go back and see them and just kind of work out. You know, they're still like my little brothers, so I go out there, I talk to them, and messing around with them all the time. And um, it's really cool to just be able to be out there and have my hitting coach, who I'm super comfortable with, to be right there. Like if anything
Yeah,
ever goes
man.
sideways, like sense of security. Like I went back and hit there a couple times, like during our season. I was like, I need to just go hit with this guy and be back at Stonehill, like kumbaya, whatever you want to call it. Like just have the good energy of being at Stonehill to get my season back on track. And it was cool to have that.
Dude, you need that. A lot of people too, they forget along the way because they're like, no, well, I play professional. I ain't going back to college, like type of
Right,
thing where some of the best hitters and the most grounded people always went back to their roots to
right,
work and to to show and kind of pay it forward and also pay homage at the same time.
for sure,
Because
for
there's
sure.
someone else at Stonehill that might try to follow in your tracks
Yeah,
type of thing. And it creates that good trend of people giving back and also keeping
100%,
that
man.
bond, man, keeping that bond.
100%. I think it's super important too. Like anyone that comes out of there and is trying to play ball, like I'd help them whenever, wherever, just because of the love they showed me, and I owe that school a lot. So
Yeah.
if I'm ever fortunate to make it to the show, like they'll be getting donations from me. That's just how I
Yeah.
feel, and that's how much I love Stonehill, and that's just what it is.
What do you do for like mental preparation, mental training? Do you have certain routines that you do before games? Or are there certain things that you try to remind yourself of when you're hitting well and not hitting well? Are there any little
Yeah.
things, reminders that you give yourself?
Yeah, man. I think for me, it's just being in the moment. I think when I'm struggling, I kind of forget that I'm doing the thing I love, and I forget that I'm a professional baseball player. I'm just like, I need to be great. Right? I need to be so good right now. It's like I got to play this game, and I get so super amped up. So, um, before every game, I sit there and I close my eyes and whatever stadium I'm in. But even if I'm at home, I kind of just go out there early before BP and be in the outfield by myself and close my eyes, just taking where I am, because I think if I didn't do that, I'd go out there and I'd be like, "Oh shoot, I'm in Quebec right now, and there's 6,000 people, and it would speed up on me." So I try to
Mm-hmm.
just close my eyes for every game, and I'm a big prayer. I talked to my grandfather; he passed away, and every national anthem, I have my conversation with him, and that's kind of just what I do. I close my eyes and do that, and it really brings me down to earth and reminds me it's just a game. And I think this offseason, like I was saying before, I think figuring out what my mental preparation is going to be every day and being able to, like, that's more important than what I do in BP and how my rounds of BP are. Just being able to every day have the same mental preparation.
Mm-hmm.
I need to figure out what that is in this offseason and try to figure out how to deal with when it's going bad and when it's going well, because you got to treat it the same way.
Yeah. 100%, man. And that's the toughest part. It's easy to feel yourself when you're doing good, and it's easy to question yourself when you're not. When
Right.
realistically, in both situations, they're not far from each other. 0 for 3 and 3 for 3 is not far off if you're hitting the ball, right? We know
Right.
that. If you're swinging at bad pitches versus you're locked in and in the zone and you're just spitting on something off the plate and they're actually calling it a ball, it,
Yeah.
it's crazy how close that game is. And that's always one thing I heard was the difference between the levels that you're at is it's not the talent, it's just that much more consistency. And
Right.
it's consistency of knowing yourself and what you bring to the table because you're good enough to be at all levels. So
Yeah.
that's there. It's just where's that consistency factor in me, especially during those tough times, and how do I pull myself out of those not slumps because we don't like to call them those.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
right.
It's like, it's enough game. you know?
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. My shoe
It's
wasn't tied enough. You
man,
never want to blame yourself.
I should have drank that amp energy drink.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I should have chugged it. I didn't drink enough of it.
This
That's
podcast is
funny.
sponsored by Amp.
Amp Energy, right? There you go. You got
Yo,
you got to get sponsorship from them.
I
Hey,
gotta
Amp,
do.
come get my boy CC. Come sponsor me.
I gotta do something, man.
That's funny.
Now, I hope that this is long away from now, right? I hope this is 15 years, 20 years from now. But when you're done with baseball, so you had mentioned in the past that you had an interest in being an adjustment counselor,
Yeah,
essentially. What draws you to that line of work?
yeah, man. So it's funny. I had when I was in elementary school, like third, fourth, second, third, fourth grade. I was the biggest baby in America. I never wanted to leave and go to school. I would get like scared, anxiety attacks. I'd be crying. And I had
Oh
a
man.
yeah, I was like, man, I don't know what I didn't want to leave my mom, didn't want to leave my dad, wouldn't get out the car. But I had the best adjustment counselor in the world is Scott Pearson. And I saw how he dealt with me, and he was a big baseball guy as well. So he would just have me come in his office to start the day and would talk to me, and I'd be fine. And the way he made me feel, like, because I know more kids go through that. And if I didn't
Hmm.
have him there, I don't know how I would have ended up getting through this. And it probably would have been like hell for me, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but the way he went about it and the way he like helped change me and um, make me better about going to school every day, it really I was like, I wanna do that for somebody. Like, being able to help a kid like that, it's super rewarding, um, it's something I can see myself doing, so when I went to school, I was like, "I'm gonna study psychology, and I'm gonna try to be a counselor," and even now, like, in the off season, I'll go back and I'll substitute teach, and I love being in schools, and I think it's super rewarding, man. Because like, I think a bunch of kids need it, and they need good role models in their life. Obviously, you need the people that are gonna teach you math, English, and science. Those people are pretty important too, but the people that can just be there and be there to help them when stuff isn't going right or stuff at home ain't going right, like, I think a lot of kids need that, and, it's something I'm super interested in still, and obviously, when I hang 'em up, I don't know what I'll end up doing. It's probably either that or Imma go be a firefighter. I actually just took the fire exam in Brockton. Um,
Ah, okay.
yeah, so I think that's something I might get onto, but I think the adjustment counselor thing is something I've always been interested in and something I could see myself doing in the future.
That's big, man. That's big. That's very unselfish, you know?
I
Cuz
appreciate it.
cuz as you start to think about too, it's not it's not tough to find trouble where we live,
Right.
right? And we've all seen unbelievable athletes go down the wrong path, and it's like, man, if they had that one person in their life that maybe was in their corner, who
Yeah.
knows how things could have worked out. It's funny cuz I watched your interview with Coach Kelly.
Yeah. My guy.
It's tough calling him John. Like I gotta call him
Yeah, I
Coach,
can't that's Coach Kelly right
But it's
there.
like, yeah, he was my baseball coach at North Junior High too. Like,
Yeah.
so for me, it's like he is someone who's always given back, and now he's creating this platform to bring in people such as yourself to kind of speak to the people of tomorrow. That's an amazing thing, man. I remember in junior high we had a player from Stonehill, Junior Medina.
Dog.
Um,
He's Junior was the man. He
he
was
got his own
something
baseball
special.
place again now. Yeah,
Yeah.
he went to school with my brother. They both went to Stonehill at the same time. And I remember when he came to the school and spoke to everybody, and he may have spoke for 15, 20 minutes. And it's like the impact that something like that can have on players. That's one of the
Yeah.
reasons why why we did, but tried to impact people through coaching the Razorbacks. Now,
Yeah.
you don't get to
And
coach every single team. That's the toughest part. But like to know that you can impact some people on this
right.
game, because baseball changed
And
my life. It saved me. It kept me out of trouble. And I know from some of the areas you're drawing from that may or may not be the case, but you never know. To your point, you never know what someone's going through either.
correct, man. And I don't think people understand like the effect like you could have on somebody. And like you just said, Junior Medina talked to you for 15 minutes and it was a big impact on you. And Junior Medina probably doesn't even know that how much that impacted young Chris, you
Yeah,
know? And um like I said, just being someone that had someone that helped me out so much and seeing how it made me feel and how much better it made me, I was like, I want to do that
yeah,
with my life. And like you said, baseball's gonna be over at one point, but I want to be able to, help somebody out. And you're not gonna get them all. You're not gonna be able to help everybody. But if
yeah,
you could touch and impact and save one kid, then that'll make me feel good. You know.
yeah. So recently on one of the episodes I released, I spoke with Brian Medeiros, who was a Brockton High graduate, played post 35, Brockton High varsity shortstop. His son G is a pitcher and infielder as
Yeah,
well.
I seen that. I seen the
What
little clips, man.
what's one piece of advice that you would give younger players that might watch this? Um, what's one piece of advice that you could drop for some of them?
Be you, man. I think I say it all the time, and every time someone asks me this question, I never change my answer. I think being yourself goes a long way, not just in baseball, but just in life. Be you. Um, if you're a baseball player, a coach wants you there for a reason to be yourself and not to be anyone else other than you. Just be the best version of you every day, and don't ever let someone tell you that you need to change who you are. Be you, and set them goals and set them super high and reach for 'em, reach for the stars. And that's something that someone told me before, and it stayed with me. Like I just need to be myself, and everything's gonna plan out all right.
I like that. That's
Yes,
smooth.
sir.
That's
Yes, sir.
good,
I
man.
appreciate it.
Yeah, that's always a question. That's always a question that I think about from players like yourself to say, what's that little gem that you'd pass on? And it's typically something from the heart. It's never
Right.
mechanics like you got to get your hands up here, don't listen to people that are down here. It's like, nah, be you, because if you always stay you, then when you go through your highs and lows, you'll have that structural foundation of where to get back to.
Right.
Like you said, like
100%.
you said earlier, if you start putting your hands up here, your hands down here, all of a sudden, man, you're 3 weeks into the season, you're 0 for the month of June. And you're like, I don't
Right.
even know who this player is anymore.
You don't right? Like I lost who that's not Trey hitting. That's you're trying to be Lindor. You're trying to
Yeah.
be someone that you're not, and you'll never like you can be better than him if you're being yourself, but I'll never be someone else. I will never be a different person than who I am. And so you
Yeah.
just gotta try to be the best version of you every single day. And I think it's super important.
That's funny, man. That's so
Yeah.
cool. Hey, let me ask this too. This is more on a personal level. If you could if you could leave a message for your family, like your parents, um, grandparents, brothers, stuff like that, what would you want to say to them in like the impact that they've had on your life and your career that maybe you tell them or maybe you don't get to tell them as much as you'd like to?
Oof, that's a good one right there. Man, I probably just say to him, thank you so much, first of all. And I don't think they understand that the man that they're looking at and that they're watching today is a direct product of them, and I'm the oldest of five. So my siblings, they've been with me along every step of this journey, this road, not just in baseball, but just in life. And I just appreciate them so much. And they teach me more than I'm the big brother. They teach me more than I think I probably teach them every single day. And they don't know that. And my mom, my dad would give their left leg and their right hand to see me do well. And they've done that. And I really appreciate them. And just shout out to them. They're the best.
That's awesome, man. That's real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dude. Hey, I want to thank you for being on the podcast today, man. It was a pleasure talking to you, catching up with you. You're a real inspiration. You're not only good at baseball, you're good people, man. And I wish nothing but the best for you, dude. Seriously.
Hey, I appreciate you from I appreciate you having me. And it was great talking to you, and that means a lot. You're the man too, and it's really cool being able to come and speak with you because, like I said, you're a legend, OG in my head. That's what everyone told me. So it's really cool being here and speaking with you. You're the man.
Dude, thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. All day, bro.